groceries for your children. No, stealing is wrong, okay? Don't get me wrong, but come on, guys, really? Oh, you guys gotta like dress me as done gave a ticket or something. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and give you a bond. I'm gonna set your bond at $100. Is that doable for you? Yeah, okay. Bond at $100, and obviously you're gonna need to pay back every single ounce of money that you stole. So we'll do $250. I know you stole $200, but I got you $50 restitution, just so I can look like I'm doing what I need to do, you know. Okay, $50. Okay, $250. $50 restitutions. Alright, and if you're able to do all of that, and then plus you're gonna need to take a course on theft, and if you do all of that and take the course on thefts, then I'm gonna recommend that the charges be expunged from your record, okay? Of course, I know how hard things are nowadays, okay? Everybody's struggling, and you shouldn't be stealing, so lesson learned. But you weren't out here stealing nonsense. You were trying to feed your kids, so I have a heart. You know, I'm not gonna do you like that. So just have to pay your bonds, pay back the $250 of restitution, take the course, and if you do all of those things, then all of that will be expunged from your record, okay? Alright, perfect. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna cost you more than that, because you know you're gonna have to pay some legal fees and stuff like that, but it won't be more than like $1,000 probably, which as far as legal fees goes, that's a good price, so I would be grateful. Of course. You're so welcome. Alright, order. I said order. My decision's been made. And you cannot question me, because I am the judge, I am the jury, and I am the executioner. Hypothetically speaking, although sometimes not really. Anyway, decision has been made. You're very welcome. You can go. Alright, 250 restitution. Good fees. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to take my notes here. Complain about me not being organized, and when I need a second to get organized, all of a sudden I'm the problem. Okay. Alright, so what's the next case here? Bring in the next victim. What is it? Criminal. Whatever. Bring him in. Alright, what is this next case? Fleeing and eluding in a traffic stop. Boring. Where are all of the bad guys? Like, bring me a murderer or something so I can put him under the jail. Like, where's the good stuff? Ridiculous. Alright, let's see. Fleeing and eluding on a traffic violation. Bring him in. His name looks a little familiar. Where do I know this name from? Where did I know this name from? His name looks a little familiar. Dante. Oh, it can't be that Dante, is it? No, probably not. That Dante was very pretentious, but never flee and elude. Whatever. Alright. Oh, how the cookie crumbles. Hi, Dante. You don't remember me? I am offended. Well, I remember you. I'll jog your memory in a second. Give me one moment to do my judgely duties. Alright, Dante. It says here that you were arrested for fleeing and eluding. Is that correct? You'll get a chance to plead a case in a second once I'm done, okay? I talk first. This is my courtroom. Thank you. Alright, fleeing and eluding is correct. liar. But hey, 85 and a 45. Don't worry, we'll get there, okay? Alright, 85 and a 45. They pulled you over, they let you know that you were getting a ticket for speeding. You said you weren't going that fast. And then you proceeded to flee and elude. Of course, you would think that the laws don't apply to you. Of course, you think that you are just so pretentious and smarter and better than everybody else that you can do whatever you want. Of course. Well, I'm going to show you today that you can't, alright? Don't you worry, we'll get there. Alright. You then took the police on a couple of miles chase. Couple of miles. Are you the arresting officer? You're the arresting officer. How many miles? I need more than a couple. 10. That's more than a couple. Make sure you put that in your in the files when you do your paperwork, okay? 10 miles. Took them on a 10-mile chase. 10-mile chase. And then you had a standoff with the police. All of this over a little speeding ticket. How pretentious of you. A standoff. And how long was the standoff? It doesn't stay here and in the files. How long was the standoff? 20 minutes. Not long. Okay. 20 minutes standoff in a residential area. Oh, in my opinion, you should have put disturbing the peace on this or something too, because that's a disruption of the neighborhood. But residential area. Oh, I also see here resisting without violence charge as well. Right? Okay. Resisting. I almost missed that one. Fleeing and eluding and then resisting without violence. Fleeing, eluding, resisting. Violence. I see, yeah. Okay. And how do you plead to these charges? Not guilty. Of course. You think that you can talk your way out of anything. Not guilty. Doesn't help that half the time you do manage to talk your way out of anything, but like I said, you're gonna learn today. Not guilty is your plea. Are you sure of that? Okay. Well, obviously the body cam footage was on, so we're obviously gonna have to take a look at that any moment now. So are we ready, officers, to play the body cam footage of the traffic stop? Alright, go ahead and look over there, Dante. Yeah, I don't want you to miss a thing. Go ahead and take a look whenever you're ready, officers. Okay. Oh, look at that. You can see the speedometer in the officer's body cam. It says 85, just like he said. Right. Okay. Oh, the officers must be bringing somebody new in. How exciting. Alright, let's see. There's the officers going up to you, telling you that you were speeding. Okay. Oh, looks like you're arguing with the officers, obviously, because you know everything. You're just so much smarter than the rest of the world. Okay. Oh, and then you go put your car in drive and you zoom it off. Yeah. Okay. Can we put it in 2 times speed, please? Please, we don't want to be here all day. Fantastic. Okay, there you are in the residential area. Okay, and it was standing off with the police. You can go ahead and skip forward all of this, standoff. There you are getting arrested, but you are resisting without violence. I can tell that you're pulling away. Okay. Well, I don't know. What's really up for debate there? It all looks pretty straightforward on the body cam footage. So, why exactly are you pleading not guilty, if you don't mind me asking? Because they used excessive force and you were in fear of your life. Dante. Dante. I'm sorry. It's just so crazy to me that you, all of these years, have still managed to be so entitled. It's honestly astounding to me. What do you mean I don't even know you? That's crazy that I was so insignificant in your life that you could ruin my friendship. You could ruin a whole person's friendship and not even remember it. Okay, comfortable. I'll tell you. Oh no, don't even worry. I'm gonna jog your memory, okay? Don't worry, I'm gonna tell you. Okay. Do you remember when you dated a little beautiful lady by the name of Nicole? You do remember Nicole? Okay, and do you remember all of the drama that ensued with that? Oh no, all of a sudden you've forgotten everything. Like I said, don't worry, I'll remind you, okay? Alright, all of you remember Dante. Nicole and I were besties. We were absolutely inseparable. Yeah, we were besties for probably, I would say, like 3 or 4 years. When you saw Nicole, you saw me. When you saw me, you saw Nicole. Everyone knew we were like 2 peas in a pod. Okay, we were the bestest friends. And then Nicole started dating you. Now, I'm not gonna say that you're the only one at fault in this situation, because Nicole was wrong too. And me and her have talked it out since, all of this, and I have no ill will towards her. But we all know who the real villain was in the situation. Okay, Nicole started dating you. Everybody told you that Dante is no good. He's no good. He is no good. He is a womanizer. He can't keep his hands to himself. He's always, new woman every week, yada yada yada. And Nicole was like, no, he's different. He loves me. I'm the one. Blah blah blah. I'm telling you, Nicole and her optimism, tiresome. Anyway, Nicole's dating you. I'm best friends with Nicole. And then there's the night of the party. Look at that look on your face. You're starting to remember. I figured you would. Oh, don't worry, cops. Don't worry, officers. I'm getting to the good stuff. I'm getting there. Alright. The night of the party, it was the first party of the year. Okay, everybody's feeling good. Everybody's really excited. We're having a good time. Alright. I'm going to the bathroom upstairs. I see Mr. Dante here making out with someone at the end of the hall that isn't my beautiful best friend Nicole. Okay, officers, listening. So I'm like, oh my god, who is this? What is happening? So I go up to him. I go off on her first because, well, I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have went off on Dante first. But she knew that they were dating. Honestly, in my opinion, I think it's so much worse when a girl betrays another girl. Everybody knew that her and Dante was dating, and she still made out with him, trifling. So I went off on her. She went downstairs. She went about her life. All right. The next thing I know, it's Dante's turn to get popped off on. So I turned to him, and I'm like, "Yo, what the hell was that? You're making out with some random girl, my best friend, blah blah blah." You know what this man does? He leans forward and he kisses me on the lips. Obviously, I push him away because, ew, you just got done making out with another girl. Plus, you're my best friend's boyfriend. Anyway, so I push him away. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? You got a problem. You can't keep it in your pants. I go straight down to my friend. I find her. We leave the party. I'm telling her, I'm like, I don't feel well, but we gotta go right now. She's like, no, we can't leave. Dante, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, it's fine. I just saw him upstairs. He said it's fine. Let's leave right now. Okay. We leave the party. We go back go to our dorm. I tell her everything, obviously. I'm like, I saw Dante making out with some random girl. I confronted them. I like cussed out the girl. She left. I started cussing out Dante. He kissed me. All everything. I tell her every detail. Do you know what this girl says to me? Let me go ask Dante. Now this is when Nicole was wrong because she didn't believe me initially, okay? She said, let me go ask Dante. I said, I'm your best friend. I'm telling you what happened. And she's like, oh, I gotta talk to him. I'm like, okay, whatever. She goes outside. She's on the phone with him for like 3 hours. She comes back and she's inside and she says, Dante said that you kissed him first. Isn't that right, Dante? Isn't that right? I said, oh my god. Is that what Dante told you? She said, yeah, he said that you kissed him first and that he tried to push you off, but you was pushing all up on him and now he doesn't know what to do and he's so sorry, blah, blah, blah. And again, I'm not saying that Nicole wasn't wrong, okay? Nicole was very wrong. Nicole was very wrong. But you know, he was also very wrong and had a history of being a liar and a cheater and who ruined my friendship along with Nicole. Mr. Dante. Now Nicole has since apologized to me for not believing in her, believing in me. But you know who hasn't? You know who then went on to cheat on her again and then dump her? Mr. Dante. And if you think, oh, over, you're doing all of this over just a little cheating scandal. No, that's not all. Like I said, me and Nicole, we lived in a dorm together. We were dorm roommates at college, okay? So when all of this happened, obviously we fell out. One of us had to move to a new dorm and it ended up having to be me because I didn't want to stay there with her and Dante. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna move to a new dorm. And I ended up not being able to get a dorm in time and I had to leave for the semester because I had nowhere to stay. And I ended up graduating a semester late because Mr. Dante couldn't keep it in his pants. Almost jeopardized my chances of getting into Harvard Law. I got in, of course, because I'm brilliant. But almost a whole semester lost because of Mr. Dante and Nicole. But Mr. Dante is the one with the problem. Yep. And so here we are. Fleeing and eluding, you say? Alright, let's see here. So you said you plead not guilty. Okay, we'll see about that. Not guilty plea. Alright. Let's see here. You know what? Let's look at the rest of your record. This doesn't seem like this level of entitlement doesn't just happen overnight. And I feel like someone like you would have a record to show for it. So we're gonna take in your record into consideration when it comes to this sentencing. Okay, let's take a look at your record here. Let's see. 1 second, Mr. Dante. Let's see what we got here. I see a criminal record. Okay. Says you've got a slew of parking tickets. How have you not been suspended? I mean, yeah, you pay your parking tickets, but you can only get but so many traffic violations before they take your license away. We're gonna have to make sure that we get that done. Someone dangerous as you don't need to be on the road. You're dangerous. Okay. So suspend license. We're gonna make sure that we make that happen. I'd say probably for like a year. That sounds good. 1 year. And then misdemeanors, but with the rest of your record not looking good for you. All right, petty theft charges. Where do you work, Mr. Dante? Well, because sometimes I'll just have, people pay the fines if they have like, good income. Pay the fines, do the classes, and be done with it. But if you don't have steady income, we may have to think of an alternative, punishment. Where do you work? You're in between jobs right now. Right. That's jobless. Sitting on the couch. Right, okay. So I can't really give you the fines because you don't have the means to pay them. So I will also be taking that into considerations. Let's see here. Place of residence. I'm listening. Isn't that your mother's house? So you're jobless and you still live with your mother. Right. Right. Mother's house. Jobless. Not a penny to his name. Okay. Did you ever end up using your degree? I'm confused. You ended up dropping out, right? Okay. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with dropping out. People do it all the time, but it's just especially funny with you. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Well, if I'm being honest, your record's not too bad. Clearly, you don't need to be on anybody's road. So that suspended license will definitely be happening, unfortunately for you. But nothing that I can really give you too much jail time for without losing my license as a judge and a lawyer, unfortunately. So, but the fleeing and eluding and the resisting without violence are criminal offenses, and technically I could give you up to 30 days in jail for those. Technically, without not breaking the law. 30 days. Jail. Fleeing and eluding. Resisting without violence. Yeah, I could do that. And then we have to talk about the fines because obviously there are always fines. So for your bonds, I'm gonna set your bonds as at about $5,000. $5,000. Why? Well, because certain bonds, obviously you can get a bail bondsman, but you have to show that you have the means to pay the bail bondsman back if you don't show up for courts. And seeing as you have no house and now no license and now no job, you won't be able to provide proof that you're gonna be able to pay the money back if you don't show up for court, which means that the bail bondsman isn't gonna pay that for you, which means that instead of being responsible for the 10%, you're gonna be responsible for the whole thing. Yeah, so $5,000, and obviously if you can't pay that $5,000, no big deal. You just have to sit in jail until your court date, which I will be making sure is many months down the line. Yeah. Alrighty. $5,000 bond. You're gonna obviously have to pay court fees. Those are gonna be pretty up there because you do have some criminal charges on here. So, I believe you got a felony. What am I saying? So, person, and I believe it said in the documents that your car got damaged, your police car. Okay, yeah, I saw that. If you would like, I could have the defendant here be responsible for that. If that would have to be something that you would have to request, though, if you get what I'm saying. You would have to request that. I can't recommend it. You're requesting it? Are you sure? Okay, and how much were the damages? I'm assuming you already took the car to the shop. The damages were $2,000. Yikes. For the scratch and the dent. Okay. Alright. Well, I'm going to be sentencing you to 30 days in jail for the felonies plus a $14,000, fines that you have to pay for everything that will be in the breakdown. You also are going to be suspended. Your license is going to be suspended for a year. Okay, you're going to have to go to driving school. You're going to have to do community service, and you're obviously going to have to redo your driving test because you're going to be suspended for a year. Okay. Alright, well, it was really good seeing you, Dante. It was nice catching up. It felt like old times. Of course, you have a good one.